What's good, guys? You know who is this? This is your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And today I'm not gonna bring any updates. Today I'm not gonna bring any news. Today we're gonna speak facts. So today we're gonna speak about how Medellin, Colombia has become a problem to U.S. citizens, foreigners, and passport bros. And the reason why is like, speaking about numbers, you know, like this year, 37 foreigners had died in Medellin. Majority of them, they are from United States, and almost zero captures, you know what I mean? So let's jump in this. Let's start with this because I gotta speak facts about this. First of all, you know, there is a lot of things that you guys won't understand because first of all, you know, you guys are not Colombians, and you know, like you guys probably won't understand this till a Colombian, you know, can explain to you, or till somebody like, you know, been for a long time in Colombia, you know, can explain this to you. So, you know, the first thing that I see, like, you know, like in this many issues, you know, many problems about Medellin, you know, with foreigners, you know, like U.S. citizens, you know, passport bros. So it's like they feel, you know, like foreigners, you know, U.S. citizens, especially, you know, like they shouldn't be recording and promoting, you know, like prostitution, you know, those kind of service, you know, in Medellin, you know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be recording, you know, parquilleras, you know, none of that, because, you know, like they feel like, you know, it's time for them to clean up the reputation. And the reason why is like, and I know you guys know this, you know, like Pablo, you know, the Medellin cartel, you know, all of that, you know, was created in Medellin. So, you know, like Pablo has created this reputation for whole Colombians that now, you know, everywhere Colombians goes, you know, they see us, you know, like as, you know, like we said, you know, the kind of white painting, you know, like Pablo used to sell and the Medellin cartel used to sell. So, you know, they tired of that because, you know, like they doing way better than before. Because, you know, let's just say like a couple years ago, like, you know, like the only gringos that were traveling to Medellin were like, you know, members of the FBI, you know, police, you know, from the United States were the only one, you know, traveled to Medellin because kind of like, you know, Medellin kind of know, you know, Medellin was a war zone before, you know what I mean? So now they're doing better and they feel like, you know, the city need to get a break, need to get, you know, another chance to show to the world, you know, like they know they you know, that they only don't say, you know, like Pablo business, you know, all of that, and they deserve that, you know what I mean? And also, you know, let's say also, you know, like Medellin also is just brand new in tourists, you know, like this is something new for them, you know, like before, you know, like they were no big in that, you know, like they doing now, you know what I mean? Because like I said, you know, they have like many other ways, you know, how to make money. And like people from Medellin, the paisas, you know, that's how you call people from Medellin in Colombia. The paisas, they are very known, you know, to create, you know, make a lot of business in Colombia. Those people, you know, they are very smart, you know, like you give them $100, you know, and like probably, you know, 3 months, you know, they will come back to you with 3,000. So they are good, very good, you know, for business, you know, all of that. But, you know, in tourism, they were not really big, like, you know, like they are now. So, you know, they feel like, you know, even if the foreigners, you know, they stop, you know, going over there, they should be okay. But, you know, they run now because they've been creating a lot of hotels in Medellin, you know, a lot of Airbnbs, and a lot of people, you know, now they depends, you know, from these Airbnbs, this hotel. But, you know, like the locals, you know, like they don't really care about that. They just feel like, you know, like they had to clean their city. And Colombians and Latinos, you know, like they are very like, you know, in this case, you know, they are like, it's something difficult to understand because, you know, I know, you know, this is one of the oldest jobs in the world, you know, like, you know, selling this kind of service, you know, prostitution. But, you know, Colombians, you know, they feel like, you know, if we were doing it, it's okay. But, you know, so if it's a foreigner or something, you know, somebody not from here, oh, you know, you Nazi or something, you know, you shouldn't be involved in something, you know, that is not your business. So don't promote, you know, this, even if, you know, if they doing here, you know, like something, you know, legal that you can see, you know, all of that. But, you know, like they won't say nothing if they're doing it. But if it's somebody else doing it, now they have a problem. You know what I mean? Because they feel, you know, that they have to protect their own people. So like when they feel like, you know, their own people is getting attacked by other people, so now they got angry, you know, and they say, you know, taking, you know, this type of ways, you know, say it's like they start, you know, like saying, you know, things about foreigners, you know, all of that, like we don't need you or something, you know, stuff like that. But like I say, you know, they've been wrong for that, because, you know, every single dollar, you know, would be very, you know, helpful for people in Medellin, you know what I mean? But like I say, you know, there is a lot of things that you guys probably won't understand, because like I say, first of all, you guys are not Colombians, and you know, it's gonna be hard for you, you know, to get deep in the culture. You know, I make a list about, you know, a few other things, you know, like you know, like I wanted to talk about, you know, go deep. So like I say, you guys can have a better idea about, you know, what's going on, and you know, why probably, you know, this is happening, you know what I mean? So the mayor is also tripping, you know, with foreigners, you know, all of that, because, you know, like I said, you know, there is a lot of people like they should be captured already, but you know, like in a lot of investigation, you know, that they should be, you know, keep going, you know, trying to capture people so they can offer tourists, you know, a guarantee that at least, you know, the city is getting safer and safer. But you know, like honestly, you know, in my opinion, Medellin it's never been, you know, a safe place, you know, like, well, some areas, because like I said, you know, Cartagena is the same thing. Everywhere you go, you know, it's the same thing. You have some areas, you know, that they are very dangerous, and you have some others, you know, like they very cool. You can walk around and you should be okay. So the rich areas in Medellin, you know, they might be okay, you know, I don't know, because you know, I only go there like for 3 or 4 days, and then I fly back, you know, right to Cartagena. So like I said, you know, probably, you know, the rich area, you know, they safe, but you know, in general, Medellin, for me, you know, it's never been, you know, like a safe, really, you know, safe place, you know. You always gotta wash your back, like everywhere I go, I'm washing my back, you know what I mean? So there is a lot of problems also, you know, with the groups, you know, messing with teenagers, you know, all of that. So, you know, this is another problem. But like I said, you know, this kind of problems, they've been in Colombia for a long time. But, you know, like Colombians, they don't care about that. They don't care if, you know, people been doing it, you know, they don't care if this is in the hood. Because this is a problem that every country in the world has this problem. Because, you know, like, you got sick people, you know, about that, you know, everywhere. You know what I mean? But, you know, like, when they feel like Colombians, they doing it, you know, like, depends who you do it. Because, you know, like, for example, you know, in the hoods, they face the problems, you know, either in different ways. You know, you probably can lose your life. If they're relies in the hood, like, you know, you've been, you know, around teenagers, you know, all of that, you can lose your life, definitely. You know what I mean? But, you know, like, they get mad because, you know, like, it's a lot of people, you know, over and over. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, they being identified as a U.S. citizens. So that's the reason why, you know, they gonna say, you know, oh, the gringos are doing this. The gringos, because let's remember, Colombia is a land of Colombians. You know, and then like with gringo do something here, this is gonna be a boom. Everybody, you know, gonna know about this. You know what I mean? Even like there is some news, like for example, in Medellin, they have some news that they only report news about Medellin. But when something like that happen, you know, some foreigner or something, you know, like they will report even in Cartagena, you know, because like I say, you know, it's something big. You know, unfortunately, you know, unfortunately, majority of the case, you know, like U.S. citizens, you know, are the ones, you know, are the actors in this kind of movies. You know what I mean? So also, you know, like they already been cleared. The mayor already, you know, been saying, you know, they don't want, you know, they haven't said they don't want Pastor Bros over there. And what I'm saying this, you know, is because every time I feel like I mention the Pastor Bros, you know, people say attacking me like, hey, I don't have nothing against the Pastor Bros. You know, I love, you know, all my black people everywhere. You know, don't matter what. So and also, you know, I've been working with a lot of Pastor Bros. So I've been grateful, you know, Pastor Bro been supporting me, all of that. But, you know, I just want to clarify that, you know what I mean? So, hey, the mayor already said they don't want, you know, Pastor Bros over there. But, you know, like, well, he didn't say that. He said, you know, they don't want, you know, the kind of tourists that go over there, you know, for women, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, like, I know there is a lot of, you know, type of Pastor Bros, you know, there is only guys who, you know, like, they don't do tours, you know, stuff like that. They only travel for women, you know, I respect that, you know, they've been working for their money and they too grown, you know, they can do what the hell they want with their money. That's not my problem, you know what I mean? I can judge you, you know, the way how you spend your money because this is your and this is your wallet, you know what I mean? But like I said, you know, like, they already been saying that, and this is one of the reasons what I said, like, what I feel like, you know, the government, they feel like they don't have to help them. And the reason why is because, like in Colombia, kind of like, and everywhere, you know, you're depending on yourself. So, you know, like, the government feel like, you know, okay, if you don't take care of yourself, we won't do it. We won't do it. That's your problem. You decide, you know, how you take care of yourself, you know, how you party in Medellin, what you do in Medellin. you know, the people you hang out with in Medellin, the women you are dating with, or you trying to date in Medellin, the women you've been talking through social media, Tinder in Medellin, that's on you, because we already been giving the advice. You know what I mean? And this is the reason why, you know, I feel, and I've been saying that in other videos, I feel like, you know, this is the this is not their homework, you know, and they won't do their best, you know, like to take a tourist, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know, like this is the reality, and I had to speak facts, you know what I mean? Because like I say, you're ready. So all the thing, like, you know, they also, you know, been expelling tourists in Medellin to pay for something that is illegal. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, like looking at a few cases that I post already on the channel. So, you know, like few foreigners, they've been expelling, you know, in Medellin just because they were paying, you know, for something that is still legal in the Yachts park. And this is something that I seen wrong, because like, I mean, if they prohibit, you know, like this kind of service in packages, I mean, the first people, you know, that they had to kick out is the women, because if there is no woman there, you know, there is nothing for the guys, you know, like that travel for those type of service to Colombia, you know, there is nothing for them to do over there. So, you know, that first of all, you know, in my opinion, they had to take care of the woman first, you know what I mean? And they had to kick them out, so people, you know, like they won't be like reaching out to Yachts, you know, trying to find, you know, this kind of service. And also, you know, like they've been expelling, you know, just foreigners, you know, US citizens, all of that. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think it's going to be the same things for Venezuelans? No, the government has created, you know, rules just exactly, you know, for US citizens, you know, all of that. So, you know, like this rule is just, you know, US citizens, you know, foreigners, you know, all of that. Because like I said, do you think if they find me paying for, you know, this kind of service in packages, what they can do to me? I mean, the most thing that they can do is that they can kick me out, and they, you know, I probably can say, oh, you know, I didn't know nothing about that. But, you know, in case if you are a foreign, they would do their best just to probably, you know, kick you out. In some of the case, you know, probably expel you out and create probably, you know, create some stories. Some of them they true, you know what I mean? But, you know, some of them I like, I don't know, man, you know what I mean? So let's continue with this. They've been judging, you know, people background, you know, with all this, you know, like all this thing about the angel watch, you know, all of that, because I've been reading, you know, like a lot of people that been there, you know, they you know, like they don't have, you know, that they made some mistakes, you know, when they were young, you know, all of that, but, you know, it was nothing crazy. This is what I hear, you know, I'm not sure about that, you know, but like I say, you know, they manage the city how they want, you know, like, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm from Cartagena, things are different, you know, over here, you know, way very different. So, you know, they manage the city here, you know, way different. So, the government act like they don't really care about, you know, the tourists over there. And, you know, like I said, you know, like they been seeing, you know, the numbers, you know, all of that. And they are like, you know, it is what it is, man. You face your problem, you know, I ain't worried about you, you know what I mean? Like, guys, I'm not being captured, you know, for real, you know, where the guilties are, the guilty, you know, in all this case. If for you, like, this year it's been like 37, last year it was like 30 something, like 40 something, where the captures are, you know, where the gangs, you know, all of that. They barely, you know, put in the hands on people. And, you know, they also, like I say, you know, like, they've been living, you know, also, you know, like, rude message, you know, for foreign, all of that. They've been wrong for that, because like I say, every single dollar they're gonna be spending, you know, in Medellin is gonna be helpful, you know, for a family, you know, or something. And, you know, I guess, you know, they just don't get that, you know. And this is the reason, you know, why, like a couple days ago, I was reading, like, you know, the hotels in Medellin, you know, they've been down because, you know, the numbers, you know, the news that people are watching, you know, all of that. A lot of people, you know, they now, I guess, you know, they've been rejected to travel to Medellin for all that they've been seeing over there. And honestly, you know, I'm the kind of person, you know, if I was American, I would have done, probably, you know, I would have done the same thing also, because first of all, you know, I would feel like, you know, I had to feel safe, you know, like the government, you know, is giving me guarantee, you know, all of that. So one thing also, you know, is about, you know, all these things, you know, about, you know, dating the girls, you know, all of that, because this is one of the main issues there in Medellin. And the reason why is because, you know, like the gangs feel, and they already identify where the money is. You know, they can't play with me because they know I don't have money. You know what I mean? And every time they do that, you know, they have to rest. So they need to catch a big feast so they can eat like for 2 or 3 months, you know what I mean? Because after they do that, they know like they just can't just go and do that, you know, every week, you know, all of that. So, you know, like this is what I told the guy all the time, you know, watch out, you know, be careful all the time, because Medellin is not a paradise like a lot of people tell you. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta watch your back all the time. Use your common sense, you know what I mean? Because if you don't do that, you can regret for real, for real. And, you know, this is words, you know, an advice from a Colombian. Born and raised in Cartagena, Colombia, so I kind of know. When I say I kind of, it's because, you know, I don't know, you know, everything about my country. And you know, this is a bias, you know, for those people that believe, like, you know, they know a lot about Colombia. You don't know shit, because even Colombians, even us, we don't know everything about our country. So don't come here, don't think because you've been spending months or something like you know everything about Colombia, because you always will meet people that will surprise, that will change your life, you know what I mean, for good, for bad things. So that's you know, like, never think like you are expert or something, you know, that nothing can happen to you, none of that, because, you know, you gotta be careful all the time. And brothers, you know, the only guarantee that you have in Medellin is yourself. You behind the screen watching me, you know, all the time, giving me views, you know, like, hey, you are the one that had to take care of yourself, because if you don't do it, the mayor won't do it for you, police won't do it for you, and if you get fucked up, it's yourself. Nobody's gonna help you. Well, maybe your family, they can say, you know, like a few $100s, you know, for you to catch another plane in case, you know, if you get set up, in case if you get a scab, you know, I'm just saying. But, you know, hey, majority of the case, like I say, you are your own guarantee. So please, when you go there, you know, you should come and say all the time, if you gonna party, you know, just party with the people that you know. Like, I would recommend people like, hey, never trying to travel alone to Medellin, you know, for the first time, you know, like, always experience probably, you know, it's not because it's my city, Cartagena, so, you know, you can see, like, you know, can ask people, you know, like, kind of see, like, how is the culture about. So once you get there in Medellin, you probably, you know, we know, or, you know, you can expect, like, probably, you know, few things that you already saw when you were in Cartagena, you know what I mean? So also, you know, like, they don't really care, brothers. Honestly, they don't really care. Is, you know, tourists get tired of Medellin because that's what they really want. And the reason also what I say that is because, you know, like, in Medellin, locals, they also blame tourists, because, you know, now they feel like they had to leave the apartment that they were staying, that they were paying only $200, because, you know, like, the rent went up like crazy. And the reason is because, you know, like, a lot of people, you know, like, they've been making a lot of Airbnbs. It's not like in Cartagena, like, you have like only Boca Grande, Yesemani, you know, the old city, the downtown, and many other places that you can stay. In Medellin, you know, you have a lot of people because, you know, like, they have nice highway, you know, all of that. So, you know, you have a lot of places, you know, a lot of areas, you know, where you can stay, you know what I mean? And this is the reason why a lot of owners, you know, I would do the same thing also, you know, it's business, you know, and it's about to make money. Nobody's want to make a business to lose money. So if I can see, if I had an apartment in a good location and I can rent and I can rent it Airbnb, so, hey, you gotta go, because I gotta make money. And, you know, I gotta take advantage, you know, of the process, you know, since now they're getting a lot of tourists, you know, like, I gonna do my Airbnb and make money there, you know what I mean? It's gonna be, I know probably, you know, it's gonna be like fully booked, you know, all the time, or at least, you know, I wanna make sure I wanna make more, gonna make more than what I was making before, you know, when I have people that were paying me monthly over there. So a lot of people from Medellin, they've been blaming tourists for this, because they say, you know, they kind of like kick them out from their apartments. And, you know, like, I get that, you know, that's how they feel. Like I say, you know, like, they really, like, on my opinion, they weren't not ready for tourists. You know, they weren't ready for tourists, and this is just happening, you know, out to the blue. And they were like, now what we gonna do? You know, they don't have a plans. And the reason why, like I say, you know, they were not a tourist place before, and this is happening. Like, imagine, like, you know, you asleep, you know, you go to sleep now and you get up tomorrow and you rich. You weren't expecting that, you know, you won the lottery, you weren't expecting that, so you don't have a plans about what to do. You know you're gonna do something, but, you know, you don't have a plans about what to do. You know, what to do. Is the same case with Medellin, you know, that they've been experiencing a lot of tourists, but they don't know, you know, what to do with, you know, with all these problems, you know, in Medellin, all of that. Like I said, you know, they weren't ready for that, but thank God, because, like I say, you know, I want to see my country, you know, growing up more and more, and I'm glad, you know, for all the people that come to my country, you know what I mean? good people, you know, bad people, you know, it don't matter, you know, you have, you know, bad, good people, you know, everywhere. So, you know, I'm glad, you know, all the people that come to my country, support support the business, you know, enjoy the culture, enjoy the food, and enjoy the women. So, you know, that's not a problem, you know what I mean? So you guys more than welcome, you know, to come to my country. But like I say, you know, use common sense all the time. Hey, if you're missing something, you know, please, you know, drop it in the comments. Like I say again, please, I had to repeat this many times because I feel like every time I talk about Pastor Bros, I have people attacking me bad. When all the friends, when all the, you know, YouTubers, well, I'm not considered a YouTuber. I'm YouTuber in process, you know. Like I'm not like, you know, like big YouTuber, you know. I'm working for that, God willing. And I know, you know, probably God willing, you know, I will make it. But when I say like all the YouTubers, you know, they talk about Pastor Bros, nothing happened because I don't really watch, you know, YouTubers, you know, all of that. But sometimes, you know, I go to the channels, you know, just see the comments, you know, all of that, give a like, you know, all of that. But, you know, like nothing happened, you know, I don't see negative comments, you know, about that. But when I do that, you know, a lot of people say, you know, dropping like, you know, negative things, you know, all of that. But, you know, it's nothing against the Pastor Bros, nothing against Medellin, nothing against the foreigners, you know, none of that. It's just speaking facts, you know, and, you know, make sure you guys understand, you know, why Medellin, you know, become a problem, you know, how Medellin become a problem, you know, today, you know, to... Honestly, you know, like I think like people don't feel safe, you know, a lot of people, you know. Some people like they know how to move over there, so they should be okay. But some people, you know, like they don't feel like, you know, Medellin should be, you know, a destination for them now. And like I say, you know, Medellin could be a great place if you know how to move around, if you had, you know, the real connections, all of that. Hey, that was all for today. I hope you guys like my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for everything, you know. Thank you so much. None of this would be possible without y'all watching me behind the screen. So that's all I wanted to say. So thank you so much, y'all. See you next time. This was your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Boom, boom, boom.